everybody, and welcome to another Agile IT Tech Talk. I'm your host, Sean Spicer. Today, we're going to be continuing on our path to the perfect secure score with, we're not going to go linear this time. And if you've watched the previous sessions around the perfect secure score, we have been kind of going down the line of all of the secure score controls. I was going over preparing for this and was looking at some of the things we had to set up in Cloud App Security. You've heard me talk about Cloud App Security before. It's really one of my favorite platforms and favorite tools within Microsoft 365. And the demo tenant I have, since it's not an active use, there's no real data. So you set these policies and it's a lot like watching paint dry if there's nothing there. So today I've got a Microsoft provided demo I'm going to run through with you guys that does have that data, and you can see how Cloud App Security actually affects these different policies. I did say that I was going to be doing a Cloud App Security demo. This is not the Cloud App Security demo. There is another Microsoft tenant that I have access to as a CIE facilitator, pardon me, that is specifically for doing security demos. And this environment is so much fun because everybody attacks it. The people that are using it attack it, the Microsoft Red and Blue teams attack it. So it is full of this rich investigation data for digging down deep into not only the features of security, but the investigation functions. If you are concerned about the ability to report breaches, things like that, under all of the new certifications and compliance laws that have come into effect this year, such as CMMC, Ccpa, that session is going to really dig down deep into what kind of investigations you can do across the entire Microsoft 365 platform. So I'm really excited about that one. Little bit of news. Microsoft caught me off guard this morning and added new Ccpa compliance rules in Compliance Manager. I've done demos in the past around GDPR in Compliance Manager. I'm going to spend some time over the next week looking at these Ccpa controls, and I'll be delivering a tech talk next week on how Microsoft Compliance Manager can impact your Ccpa compliance. If you're not aware, Ccpa is the California Consumer Protection Act that went into effect at the beginning of this month on January 1st, 2020. It affects companies with over $50 million in revenue, companies that the majority of their income comes from buying and selling lists, so email lists, snail mail lists, demographics information, polling data. And it really, even though it's the California Consumer Protection Act, if anybody in those lists, or if you do business with anyone in California, you fall under the Ccpa because you are trading a California citizens' data, and it's meant to protect California consumers. Another cool thing is that in addition to Secure Score, Microsoft has been working on a compliance score that works a lot like Secure Score does. And it's really just a more user-friendly interface to Compliance Manager. That has now hit, it's still in public preview, but it is now available to every Microsoft 365 user. So I'll be taking a look at that as well. I don't know that I'm going to roll it into the Ccpa Tech Talk next week. If it's mature enough, I might. A lot of times when things are in public preview, you get to a certain point and something breaks, and I really don't want to give that experience out to our viewers. I am also working, the CMMC, which is the DoD's new Cybersecurity Maturity Model Certification, the last communication they had, I believe, was December 17th. They said that it would be published at the end of January. So I'm going to rub my crystal ball, and I'm going to say the Ccpa is going to be published, CMMC is going to be published tomorrow. I like to say that I have high hopes, and I trust the DoD and the federal government to not be late, but we've all seen the Postal Service. But I am getting ready for that. I have been mapping the CMMC controls to Microsoft 365 GCC High. So for those of you that are not defense contractors, GCC High is Microsoft's Office 365 environment specifically for DoD contractors, and it's meant to meet NIST 800-171, FedRAMP moderate, and with CMMC, it is capable of meeting all 5 levels of CMMC. One of the interesting things, though, if you are a DoD contractor, the stuff we're going to go over today, Cloud App Security is not available. Well, Cloud App Security is not advertised as being part of GCC High. It is available, but it lacks the attestations for Microsoft to stand behind it and say, yes, this is a certified control for meeting NIST 800-171. Since it is available, my guess is that they are in the process of having it approved by the DoD, but that remains to be seen. It's in your environment, but it is not an official feature in GCC High. All right, so let's get started. What I want to do is, usually I'm signed in when I come in here. Pardon me. What I want to do is I want to show off some of the things that have changed as we've set up Secure Score. So we've gotten rid of legacy authentication, required MFA for privileged users. So the login process has changed a little bit. So let's show you. So I'm going to log in. This is my demo tenant, and I'm going to log in as a global admin, mod admin. I always imagine it's like the old 60s mod like Austin Powers. Let's see. Put in my strong password. All right, I have MFA enabled. I also do not have any legacy authentication methods that will work here. Now on my phone, I have the Microsoft Authenticator app. It uses a time-sensitive password or passcode. I've got 10 seconds left to enter this one. If I mess up, whoops, did I get it in time? Oh, my 0 key is not working on my keypad. Oh, I've got a new one now. There we go. We want to stay in. And I know those of you that are in here every week are bored of watching me get to Secure Score. For those of you watching the first time, hey, this is how you get to Secure Score. All right, and you'll see we are up to Secure Score 43%. We finally got around the all users requiring MFA for all users. That was an issue because it was a demo tenant. We did just kind of kick the users through it. So you'll see the history here, January 20th, 6 users we got affected, and then we finally got it to work for all users on the 23rd. So that was last week, just before we did the tech talk. I wasn't sure if it was going to stick. Some things that I've mentioned in the past is when you make changes in Secure Score, they will not show up for usually 24 hours. You can see here the last update was updated at on January 29th. Today is January 30th, so that was yesterday. And you'll see this 4 p.m. indicates that they check the status every day at 4. All right, so let's go to it. So today we're going to be going through the policies that are affected by Cloud App Security. So for example, set automated notifications for new OAuth applications. This is handled through Cloud App Security. For those of you that haven't used or played with or watched any of our tech talks around Cloud App Security enables data loss prevention. It enables shadow IT controls, it's a log analyzer, and it's got a really clean, easy user interface. So you can use Azure Sentinel as well as a log analyzer. It's more of a full-featured security platform. But Cloud App Security is part of Microsoft 365 and really essential for managing what applications and where your data goes throughout your entire data estate, and that includes non-Microsoft apps. So this will monitor things like Box, Gmail, Salesforce. But because I don't have any logs in this demo tenant, and I don't have any users that are actively using any sort of cloud apps, there's no data here. So I can set these policies up, but I really want you to see what it looks like in a live environment. So some of the others that are in here, let's go ahead and view all, have them in one place. So use Cloud App Security to detect anomalous behavior. Set automated notifications for new and trending cloud applications. create a custom policy to discover suspicious usage patterns, and discover trends in shadow IT application usage. All of these are managed through Cloud App Security. And turn on Cloud App Security Console. I'm going to go ahead and jump over to this demo now. All right, the first control we're going to do is we're going to set up detecting custom apps with Cloud App Security. So like I said, this is a Microsoft provided demo. So the Cloud Discovery Dashboard is designed to give you insights into the cloud applications that are being used by your users across your entire organization. So here we can go into Discover and look at the Cloud App Catalog. Now, the Cloud App Catalog, there are over 16,000 cloud apps in the catalog. This catalog contains publicly available cloud apps only if you have line of business apps or if there are secret cloud apps. Microsoft has collected IP addresses and information, and it puts this into the catalog and then exposes your, the visibility of what the app is, as well as the risk information around that app. So you can set filters. So let's see, we're going to go ahead and create a filter for app tags, custom apps, and then we can go ahead and from here we're going to create that policy. So we want to monitor custom apps. I'm going to show how to lock these down here in a bit as well. We're going to go ahead and create a new policy from search, and we just want to monitor them right now. So monitor custom apps. Then maps matching all of the following. This is already filled because we created it from the search, but then we can go and we can look at edit and preview results. And this shows you what apps are going to be affected by this policy. Just like when you're setting user-based policies, it will show you which users are affected. This gives you a easy way to make sure you're not going to lock everybody out of Office 365 because you didn't structure a search correctly. So by adding a new policy for custom cloud apps, Cloud App Security will match uploaded firewall and proxy traffic and log messages to the app, and then provide you it with visibility into the use of the app across your organization in the Cloud Discovery pages. Some of that information is how many users use the app, how many unique source IP addresses use it, and how much traffic is transmitted to and from the app. So the next control we're going to do is discover trends on shadow IT application usage. This is kind of a slimmed down version of our Discover and Block Shadow IT Tech Talk we did over a year ago with Kevin Martins. I will put a link to that video in the description on YouTube. So if you do want to go back and watch that, check that out. Kevin Martins is amazing. And that was one of my first exposures to Cloud App Security and really where my love for it lies. Now, there are three other functions we're going to kind of zip through in here. So first is discovering OAuth applications, managing app permissions, and then creating application policies. And they're going to be a little bit stricter than the one we just did. So first, let's look at finding OAuth apps. OAuth is a web-based industry standard. It's a protocol that enables users to grant web applications access to their accounts and data without sharing credentials. It was originally created for consumer-focused services like Facebook and Twitter. If you've seen that, where you're trying to log into like an RSS reader and it's log in with Google, log in with Facebook, that is OAuth authentication. So let's go ahead and investigate OAuth apps. So the Microsoft Cloud App Security allows you to manage Office 365 apps. So these are applications that when you log in, it says log in with Office 365 or log in with Microsoft, pardon me, that you're sharing your Windows credential in order to gain access. So Graph Explorer is made by Microsoft. And this shows you what the open authentication permissions are for your corporate resources. So here you can see view and modify OneNote notebooks in your organization, read and write all user mailbox settings, read users relevant people lists, but it's not just Office 365. It will also identify third-party applications like G Suite. So you can see here, you've got users using Dropbox. So view and manage your Google Contacts, view basic information about your account, and view your email address. Same with Salesforce apps. So if you use Salesforce, you know that the Salesforce Workplace has hundreds, if not, well, thousands definitely, of applications that link in with Salesforce, but it also ties in with a number of enterprise applications. And here you can see these. So once again, you can see that full list of permissions that were granted to the app and which users granted those apps access. So let's go ahead and, where is it? Oh, where is the data classification service? Anyway, to better understand unknown applications, admins have the ability to drill down into the details for each app and analyze them against permission levels, community use levels, which indicates how common the app is in the organization and how common it is across other organizations, and view related user activities that were logged by MCAS. And like I said, these logs can be imported from your firewalls, and any information that your firewall collects gets moved into Cloud App Security. However, if your firewall, I know there are certain Cisco firewalls that don't handle things like they don't track application IP address, it just won't show up. It will show application name. If it has the information, pardon me, we had our all company kickoff yesterday, and I think I'm going to lose my voice. So, where was I? So, the firewall logs that are uploaded will indicate the community use and the permission levels, and those details help admins decide which apps their users should be allowed to continue to access and which ones will be revoked. Let's take a look at Wunderlist here. So once reviewed, admins can mark an app as approved in the organization to indicate that it's been reviewed and approved for organizational use. And here you can see who the publisher is, what the application website is, what permissions currently are enabled to that app. In this case, it's sign in and read user profile, and it's used to sign you in and read your profile. And then related activities, you can go ahead and look at activity logs and see who's actually using it. That will be part of the larger demo of Cloud App Security. And then from here, you can go ahead and approve the app, ban the app, or report the app. So at this point, we want to apply a classification, pardon me, apply a classification label. So the banning of risky apps can be automated by creating an application policy. So we did the earlier policy, we created that by, pardon me, we created that through a search. In this case, we can do a new policy from search. So in this case, we're going to revoke an application. So policy name, revoke app. Down here, because we didn't come directly from a search, we can create the filters for the policy. We select the filter. We want to set for strict, and then we want to go ahead and we want to identify community use as rare. So this second filter is for apps that aren't used by very many users. So for governance, we're going to do this through Office 365. And when we revoke this app or revoke these applications, this will be done, I've lost my mouse, this will be done specifically for applications which use Office 365 for their authentication. This policy locates files with high permission levels, and that's this here, and that are only used by a few users, and then disables the app. So once we click create here, we are done, and we will have done all three of those policies that are in Cloud App Security, or I'm sorry, in Secure Score. So like I said, watching this actually be performed in an environment that doesn't have data is like watching paint dry. So after this tech talk, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to set these policies here in the demo environment that I own. So you'll be able to see that secure score increase as well. There we go. And you'll be able to see that next jump. Now, when you look at the impacts from these, we'll be able to guess what our secure score percentage will be by looking at it. So we're going to get 4.21% for OAuth. We're going to get 3.16 for anomalous behavior. So I think we're going to add up to about 10. So again, next week, I'm going to be doing the tech talk on CCPA compliance in Compliance Manager. If it's in a functional state, as I said, it was still in public preview, I'm going to be going and looking at compliance score and how compliance score gives you that single pane of glass view into your compliance frameworks and your ability to meet the compliance regulations within your environment. Thank you for joining. If you're watching on YouTube, give us a like and follow. Agile IT Tech Talks are a benefit for our MSP and CSP clients. It's a weekly demo followed by an open Q&A with myself and any engineers that join me. However, we do cut the recording for that so that our clients are able to communicate in a totally open and honest way. These are NDA protected, of course. So right now, I'm going to cut the recording. For those of you watching online, thank you very much. Give us a like and follow, and have a great week. Thanks a lot, and take care.